So this video is about the tool store in Edgecam, and I know a lot of people use toolkits in Edgecam, which you can do. In smaller companies, I think it's probably better to just have several tool stores, and just change the tool store according to the machine that you're using. I like to keep my master tool store and then have one which I tend to purge all the tools out and keep it nice and simple. I do this so that you can quite easily get to the tools, and Edgecam can easily find the tools it wants, and it's easier to organise them and everything. So what I'm going to show you in this video is how to change the tool stores and how to save the tool stores. So if you go into this this icon that says tool store here, and you'll see below it this tool store administrator, I'm going to click on that and it immediately comes up. I've only got one tool store in here, you might have loads of them. They're quite easy to delete, which I'll show you in a minute when I've got one in there. So if I now click on this tool store, you'll see that you've got further down there, you've got something that says you've got make active, so you can make the active tool store, although it already is. I'll show you that in a minute as well. What I'm interested here is backup database, so I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to browse to where I want to stick this tool store. Now for now I'm just going to stick it on my desktop, but you probably would have somewhere that you might want to put it, and I'm going to call it just test. So I'm calling it test tool store, and I'm going to say save, and then you have to click the backup. So you click the backup, and that's actually now saved. Now if I now go back to the beginning here, which is this where it's white here, that white, what does it say, tool store database back here. So what you can do here is you can say create a new tool store from a backup. So you click that and then you browse, and I'm going to browse to my desktop, find this, open it. Down here it'll come up with a name. You don't want that as your name. You want to put a new name, T-E-S-T, test, and then you say create, and it's created my tool store. So now I've got two. This one with the arrow on is the one that's active. So if you were to go into Edgecam now or call out a tool store or anything, that's the tool store that you'll be seeing. If you hang over it like that, you will be able to see I've got my mouse set really big. To be honest with you, I don't even know how to change it back, but still we'll have to stick with it. So that when you hover over it, it does tell you the full description of that. So my test one here, if I click that, I can just say make active. So that's now my active tool store, and anything I do is in that. So what I find really easy is to just back up your tool store. Then you can be pretty brutal in what you take out and all stuff like that. Because I'm not a great believer in creating tools from scratch. I tend to copy them and then just make new ones. So what I can do with this now is do whatever I want. If I mess it up, I can always go back to my original, this tool store, and just say make active. So this one here, so what I could do now is I could create another one. Obviously it'll be the same because I've only got one here backed up there. Open. I just call it and I'll just call that test 2, T-E-S-T 2, and then just say create. Now it didn't like that. It's saying it's not valid. That's because I've just put a space in there. I did that just to show you, honestly. Anyway, you can't put spaces in there. So I'm going to say create, and it's done me another one called test 2. Now you can rename these tool stores. So if I want to rename a tool store, I can't rename the one that's active. I can't really do anything with that other than use it. You can't delete it or anything like that for obvious reasons. So I'm going to rename that one. I'm going to click rename database, and I'm going to call it David, like that, and then I click rename, and it's now called David. So you can rename these as easy as you like. You can also delete them very easily, easier than probably you want to. Delete, yes, and that one's now gone. So any tool store you can make active, okay? And when you go into your when you go into Edgecam, you'll see that tool store's active. So we can back these tool stores up. We can make them active. We can delete them. If we click down here, you'll see make active, rename. You can back up, restore database from backup. That's like restoring your original one. Don't use most of these, if I'm honest with you. Excuse me. So if we come back here, as I say, you can see your active tool, but tool one is the one with the tick there. Make active, that's how you make it active. So that's the tool store database for you. So just to demonstrate this in terms of Edgecam, I'm going to go there, make that active, and then I'm going to just close this down and close that down. I'm going to go to Edgecam. So I'm going to go into my tool store. When I go in there, I'll get this, and it tells me there which tool store I'm using. So that's just automatically gone through in Edgecam as the tool store that you're using. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and click the bell and do all that kind of stuff, to follow, to see other videos, because there are other videos in this series and I will be making a lot more. So thanks for watching.